We have Rockruff, which is a really great card because it has the attack Signs of Evolution, which allows you to put a random card that evolves from Rockruff straight into your hand. So it immediately finds you the Lycanroc. And in this deck, we are talking about the Midnight form Lycanroc, which is just superior. So we'll take a look at that card in a second. But the cool tech that people have been running with this Lycanroc deck is that since Rampardos evolves from a fossil, which is an item card, you can't start with it. So you really just need to run one Rockruff and you're always guaranteed to start with that Rockruff. So you're always going to have a guaranteed Rockruff start. If you're going second, then you attach energy, Signs of Evolution, you guarantee get that Lycanroc into your hand. So it's a really cool way to just get attacking super quickly with the Lycanroc. And let's take a look at that card real quick. Now here is the Midnight form Lycanroc, which has the Blood Fang attack for only 2 fighting energies. You're dealing 50, but if your opponent has more HP than you, you're dealing 50 more damage. That's insane. It's so good because if you're going up against an EX, you're instantly hitting for 100 for 2 energy. And this guy has 100 HP, so it's not like most EXs like turn 2 can really respond to that, except for like Solgaleo and things like that. But still, you can most likely tank a hit, which means your HP is going to drop a little bit lower. And then if you're lower than your opponent's HP, then you can hit again for another 100. It's just wild. Some of the matches that I have today is just solo Lycanroc kind of steamrolling your opponent. It's such a great way to apply pressure on your opponent super early. Now we are playing it with the Rampardos. Now I will talk about this Rampardos really quickly and some of my concerns with this deck. I think Rampardos is a really great card. I think if you focus on the Rampardos as its like own attacker and you could maybe have like supports around it, it could be a really great deck. But I think the problem that I had with this deck is that Lycanroc just comes out so quickly, and because it has the stipulations of it, you know, manipulating its HP, you're kind of living on the edge for a little bit, right? And so you're maybe at like 20, 30 HP, and your opponent finally sets up something to respond to it, and you just need to have another attacker ready to go. The Rampardos is really great for that because it just requires 1 energy to attack for 130, so you can clean up a lot of great KOs. The issue is, I find that finding the fossils is really difficult in this deck. We don't have any great ways to search for items yet, so when we do, I think Rampardos is just going to be nuts. But right now, one of the issues that I had when playing this deck is that I got Lycanroc out really early. I could maybe set up 1 Rampardos, but between the 2 of them, I couldn't finish getting my last point for the game, and my opponent could actually steamroll if you give them a little bit of breathing room and KO the Rampardos, and then you don't have another Rampardos to set up because you're only playing Rampardos and Lycanroc in this deck. I actually did try Aerodactyl. There was a version online that I saw that had Aerodactyl, so I included that. So you might see some games with the Aerodactyl in there, but I took it out. I never really used it. Okay, enough ranting about Rampardos. I do want to talk about a few other cards. We do have the Guzma to get rid of things like Rocky Helmet and Poison Barb. All right, enough ranting about Rampardos. I'm going to talk about Guzma because we do play one of Guzma. Sometimes your Lycanroc is on really low HP and you don't want to run into things like Rocky Helmet or Poison Barb, so we do have the Guzma in order to deal with those tools. It also is great against Cape too, because if you have Rampardos and red, you want to make sure that there's no cape on it so you can kind of secure some KOs with the Rampardos on some big HP mons. And that's pretty much it for the deck list. I really love Lycanroc. I do want to try multiple other versions of the build, so I might update this list later down the line. But for now, this deck is really strong. It's really solid. I talk about it a lot in my meta tier list that will be coming out, or it has, I guess, already came out now that I'm doing this video. Time is weird like that. So definitely check out that video if you want to know my thoughts on Lycanroc. But yeah, let's hop onto some matches and I'll show you how this deck plays. All right, the Rockruff the Rockruff start, as we know, is guaranteed. We have the Old Amber and Skull Fossil in hand. That's actually really nice. If we can get Aerodactyl, we could prevent them. Speaking is sometimes difficult. We could prevent them from evolving. Cape is decent. Sign of Evolution gives us our Lycanroc, which is nice. They're a fighting deck as well with Regigigas. What kind of deck are they? We do hit them for weakness, which is really nice. We don't KO them because they are very tanky. But let's just go research here. Get Comms and Rampardos. So let's put these Skull Fossil and the Old Amber down. Depending what our top deck is next turn, I'm going to save the Comms and maybe try and get either Cranidos or Aerodactyl. This gets us our Lycanroc, so next turn we can hit for 100, 120 with the weakness, so that's really nice. Oop, sorry. Hit that mic. Alright, let's see what we're working with. I could also Sabrina whatever they put on the bench. No, it looks like they're just powering up the Regigigas. Yeah, I'll just take the Gigas knockout. Wait, what? Fighting Dialga? What is going on? Okay. We can evolve the Lycanroc. I don't need to actually, let me comms, because we do play Cranidos, so this could potentially get us the Cranidos. No, it gets us Aerodactyl, which is also fine. I don't mind playing this. I don't think they're an evolution deck at all, though. I'm kind of confused as to what's going on. But I can just attach and hit for 120. Next turn, I'll knock it out. This Dialga doesn't feel like a threat. And yeah, Raging Hammer is not going to be able to attack next turn. Okay, it's a mix of fighting and metal. And they're playing Solgaleo. Strange, very strange. But we have Aerodactyl, so it doesn't seem like they can evolve into their stage 2s, right? I need to make sure that your opponent can't play Pokemon from their hand to evolve their active Pokemon. Okay, it's only active, to be fair. So they can still evolve their bench, but that still works really well for us. And then, yeah, I think we just keep going, set up this Aerodactyl. What we can do is if they don't evolve or into Solgaleo next turn, we could Sabrina KO this Comfey. Well, I guess we won't KO it because we'll have the same amount of HP, but maybe we could attack with the Aerodactyl. That could work. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Okay, so we'll just go Bloodfang. There's no need to do anything. I don't want to put Cape on here just yet, because again, they have fighting energy on the Cosmog. But did I say Comfey? I think I've been saying Comfey this whole time. Yeah, we'll just go Bloodfang. We'll take 20, so we'll go down to 60. But yeah, I don't know why they're playing fighting energy. Is it a case of like they have a fighting tech and they forgot to change their energy lineup? That could be it. But they'll probably send in Dialga. No, they send up the Cosmog. So now the Cosmog can't evolve. And they have Regirock? Regirock is a wall? Not gonna lie, I don't see the vision. I don't see the vision here. I could Iono to get Rampardos and knock this out. I think I'm just gonna Sabrina, because even if they send the Cosmog, they're screwed. So they're not gonna do that. Oh, never mind. They are going to do that. Okay, I'll just get rid of. I'll just get rid of it. No problem. And yeah, we'll just Land Crush for 80. And then now they're gonna send up the Regirock. And then we can just 2-hit KO. Yeah, and then concede. Okay, weird deck. Going first. This deck is definitely a go second deck. But we do have Skull Fossil Rampardos. We just need Rare Candy. Going up against a water deck. So it looks like it's Blastoise. We have Comms. I don't want to comms away the Rampardos in case we top deck rare candy, so I'm just gonna keep my hand. Maybe we can get Iono as well, and that can give us what we need. It's an Articuno deck. Okay. They're gonna water gun me for 20. I probably do need to cape the active then, in case. So yeah, let's cape the active just so we don't lose out on Lycanroc. We'll go Signs of Evolution and get the guy. That's our guy. And we have him. He's here. That Articuno is going to be annoying, but we do knock out the Squirtle. We get Aerodactyl. I think I'm gonna comms away the Aerodactyl. Because if we can get rare candy, we can get a knockout on the Articuno with Rampardos. And the red combo. We don't have more HP than the Squirtle, so we're only hitting this for 50. But if they evolve into like Wartortle or something, then we should be fine. They have a Wiglet, so they're playing Wugtrio. Okay, alright. They could retreat here? Did they retreat here? If they hit me for 20, I knock out the Squirtle, they send an Articuno. Articuno can Blizzard, hit my board, rare candy into red would be ideal. Or they could just send up the Wiglet to stall for a turn. Ah, there's that candy. Perfect. So we have our candy Rampardos. This is fantastic. We have all the pieces in hand, so hopefully, knock on wood, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I don't want to jinx it like I did in one of my other matches. But we'll see. We'll just see what happens. We'll just see. Maybe, you know, they just attack. All right, looks like they're coming with a Wiglet. Do they have Wugtrio? No, they XP'd. Okay. They're gonna go into Manaphy. Manaphy still will get knocked out by Lycanroc, even though I have higher HP. So that's fine with me. Even next turn, if they come in with the Wugtrio, then Rampardos is gonna knock them out. So I think we're still doing decently well. Or we could go Sabrina. I like Sabrina because if they retreat, I still have Cyrus. So yeah, we're definitely gonna go Sabrina here. They're gonna send up the Wugtrio. Then I'll attach to the Rampardos in case they do some sort of like stall tactic. I don't think they will though. And we'll hit it for 100. They actually sent up Articuno, which is weird. I guess they just want to attack with the Blizzard anyway, but if they attack with Blizzard, Rampardos is just going to knock them out. They could retreat into the Wugtrio, but same sort of situation. I feel like it would have been better for them to retreat, or go in with Wugtrio, take the hit, retreat, go into Articuno, and then pray I don't have Red or Cyrus, which I have both, so that's unfortunate for them. Yeah, they're just gonna go for Manaphy. We don't even get to see the Rampardos. The Lycanroc just carries. The Lycanroc is all you need. Alright, well, we'll just go Cyrus and KO this Articuno. Yeah, the Lycanroc is just so good. It just is such pressure you're putting on your opponent. And yes, there is some like mind games that you have to play with, you know, potentially putting the cape. I maybe shouldn't have put the cape on there, because then you have higher HP, but I don't know, man. Just being able to hit for 100 on EXs is kind of broken. I can't remember what I got Marsed into. I think I got Marsed into Aerodactyl, Iono, and Red. Okay. Alright. Okay. It's a fighting versus fighting deck. We love to see it. We have double research Iono. I actually love that because we can use up our researches, get a big hand, and then Iono, get whatever we need. Let's go research. Let's Rampardos. But no fossil. Okay. We'll get signs of evolution. Guarantee the Lycanroc. Now, let's see what they do. They could evolve into Lucario. I don't remember how much HP Lucario has. There's the helmet, which is not fun. But they will jab me, right? Okay, they'll jab me. That sounds so violent. Okay, Guzma works here. Because they hit for 60, right? So if Rocky Helmet, if I play into Rocky Helmet, I mean, I could also just cape here and be fine. Yeah, I want to cape here because I need to play the research to see more cards because I don't have any follow-up. So it could be kind of scary if they somehow get a big play. But yeah, the research didn't help us at all either. But the cape is going to help us. And then maybe we have to, I think we have to Guzma next turn because they'll hit us for 60 and then we don't want to, you know, take the 20 from the helmet. So a lot of math. Okay, so it's Garchomp, Lucario, which is interesting. Okay, so Lucario will hit for 60. Unless they have healing, it doesn't matter what HP they're at, we still hit them for 50. But then again, if they hit us, they'll be at higher HP, so it doesn't really matter. I love this Lycanroc for some reason. There's just so much mind games. There's so many mind games that you can play with your opponent. So let's see what they do. If they try to retreat... what do we do? Because Gibble could survive a hit from me. I could try and... no, if I had the old Amber, I could evolve into Aerodactyl and then prevent them from getting their Gibble online if they do retreat into the Gibble, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I think I will still Iono here. Hopefully my opponent is still there. Okay, they are retreating. In which case, I just do Sabrina and knock it out. Yeah. I could Iono. Them retreating tells me that they probably have Garchomp in hand. Garchomp can only hit me for 50, so I am just gonna Sabrina here. So, because of the helmet though, I will take recoil damage. So I'll go down to 60, so I should potentially survive. Emphasis on potentially. And I also had to do that because if they evolve into Garchomp, then the Lucario lets them hit for 70, I believe, because they're hitting the active. And if I'm correct, this is to your opponent's active Pokemon. So if the Garchomp did hit my active with linear attack, they would hit for 70, so I would get KO'd. Alright, they're searching. They're searching for the comms into Garchomp. So we'll see if they have it. Suspense, the suspense. Do they have Garchomp here? No, it looks like it's a pass. I could... No, comms doesn't help me here. So I am just gonna go Iono. Okay, we have Old Amber and Skull Fossil and Rampardos. Okay, so we're set for next turn. I'll attach to the Old Amber. And then we just Bloodfang. And then now, if they do... Ooh, this is annoying. They could linear attack KO the Skull Fossil. In which case I would have to... Okay, they don't have it. All right. I think we're good here. If they had the Garchomp, then they could linear attack, knock out the Skull Fossil, because I just realized the Skull Fossil has only 40 HP. In which case, though, we have Red plus Bloodfang, so we would be able to KO this Garchomp. But now that I'm thinking about it, if they had Garchomp, they could Lily and heal most of the damage. But it looks like we just will KO with Rampardos. And that is going to be the game. We'll head smash for 130 and just clean up the KO that way. Yeah, this deck is pretty sick, not gonna lie. There are some key weaknesses, like I mentioned in my meta report video. I will say, now that I remember that Aerodactyl only is for the active Pokemon, it's not amazing. It is like when it happens and when you do prevent your opponent from evolving in the active, it is pretty cool, not gonna lie. But I just haven't seen it be that relevant yet. But who knows? Maybe it might. We'll put the Amber down. We'll research. Okay, we got the whole Skull Fossil line, so that's actually great. I'm gonna save on putting the cape and just go Signs of Evolution to get our Lycanroc. I'm intrigued to see if there's a version of this list that is playing both the Lycanrocs. Ooh. They have Incineroar down, so again, like, Aerodactyl's not going to be amazing here. But we do have access to Cranidos. But I do know that they have a lot of healing in Incineroar decks, so could potentially see a Lily here, could also see Pokemon Center Lady. Whew. They almost KO us here. Okay, I'm trying to think if Guzma matters. What happens here? I hit them for 100. They Fire Fang, hit me for 30. I'm poisoned. Yeah, I can either Cape or I can Guzma. Why not both, right? I want to keep this Lycanroc alive so I can get Rampardos out. So let's Guzma, get rid of that. Let's Cape so that they don't have any more shenanigans. Yeah. Because then, even with the Cape, they have to Fire Fang. They could choose not to Fire Fang, which would be an interesting choice. But yeah, they're going to put Center Lady anyway, so they're trying to heal too through this. which means I can hit them for another 100. And then just start swinging with Rampardos turn after turn. I could also just retreat and force a knockout with Rampardos. That could be better because I will die to burn here, and I don't want to die to burn. No one likes that. And then Sabrina could just knock out the Torracat, though. The only issue is if they have a healing card, then they can get out of Rampardos range. So I think I'm going to just retreat here. Go into the Rampardos. Heal the 20. The 20 actually did matter with the cape, which is funny. And then just say you don't have Incineroar, and if you do, then I'm going to be able to just head smash you and KO you. That's essentially the play that I'm making. And then I'm also at 20 HP, so there's no way, like, unless they're at 10 HP, and if they're at 10 HP, then Lycanroc will still KO them either way. So they would have to, like, be at 110 HP in order to survive, and that's not going to be the case here. And they conceded. Okay, sweet. That was very interesting. The burn, cape, Guzma, all that really mattered and came into play in that match, so I thought that was really interesting. Okay. Moltres, maybe Moltres Charizard still? Research is good. I like research. Iono, more fossils. I'm gonna put one down and pass. And then maybe I can get a second Rampardos down later, but I might Iono. I'll probably still put the Skull Fossil down next turn and then Iono. So I'll need to Signs of Evolution anyway. Okay. What are we working with here? The Charizard? No, the Double Moltres. Okay, it is Charizard. Alright, so we're going up against Genetic Apex Charizard with a Rapidash splashed in. Alright, they get 2, which is pretty good. Alright, they split it, which tells me that they probably don't have the attack this turn. So what I'm going to do is do this. Let's go Iono. We have Rampardos, and we have the Lycanroc, so we could just go ahead and put the Lycanroc in, because there is a chance that they Dawn and attack with Heat Blast to knock out the Rockruff, which would be not good. Okay, they got research off the Iono. Alright, just another Inferno Dance, so we are going to be able to chip away at this Moltres. Ooh, and they got 3 tails, which is good for us. We need them to kind of brick here, because we are bricking ourselves. If I Sabrina, that doesn't really help me, so I think we just go ahead and Blood Fang, and I don't know if red helps me, because it's always going to be a 2-hit KO anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the Blood Fang here. Now we do have Cyrus in the deck, so if they decide to retreat this Moltres, potentially go into the Rapidash? Nah, they wouldn't go into Rapidash. Oh, they Sabrina me. Okay, so I'll have to give them a Fossil here. Which is still fine, because if they keep the Moltres in the active, then I'll knock it out. But maybe not. No, they just go Inferno Dance. This is awkward because it forces me to get rid of a Skull Fossil, which is essentially a attacker. This card can't retreat. They haven't gotten Charizard out, though. Am I okay with losing a Skull Fossil? I really don't have a choice, I don't think. I think I have to go in and attack with the Lycanroc. Attach the energy. Let me just go Blood Fang. We'll see if this works in our favor. They, for some reason, split their energy between Moltres and Charmander, so they're not set up to attack with the Charizard, which is interesting. They go into Charmeleon. Okay, well, if they attack with Heat Blast, okay, then that's game, I think, because we can Sabrina KO anything on their board. Okay. Looks like they bricked a little bit and didn't get Charizard out, but this is just another one of those matches where Lycanroc can kind of carry on its own, which is interesting. Yeah, that is the one struggle with this deck, is that you just can't set up your secondary attackers. So I do like this build for sure, but I definitely see potential in maybe doing this some other way. Maybe not playing it with like the Fossil engine, but maybe playing it with like Lucario. Who knows? Maybe that could be good. And you just kind of gamble with either putting Rockruff in the active or Riolu. Maybe you could put this in like a fighting box deck where you have Marshadow and Sudowoodo. Because a lot of times your opponent, I'm gonna start it all over. Let's start it over.